In the deep, endless blue of the ocean, where sunlight danced like golden threads through the waves, there lived a young humpback whale named Wila. Wila was not like the other whales in her pod. While they sang to call to one another across the vast sea, Wila's songs were different, soft and shimmering, like the sound of stars twinkling in the night sky. Her songs carried stories, dreams, and feelings that seemed to touch the hearts of every creature who heard them. Even the tiny fish would pause their darting to listen, and the crabs on the ocean floor would sway their claws as if caught in a gentle breeze. Wila's voice was magic, and she knew it, but she didn't yet understand why. One bright morning, as the pod swam through a sparkling coral reef, Wila's mother, a wise old whale named Mara, noticed her daughter lingering behind, humming a melody that made the water hum with warmth. "Wila," Mara said, her deep voice rumbling like the tide, "your songs are special. They carry the heart of the ocean. But you must learn to share them wisely, for they can touch not only our kind but the hearts of those who live above the waves." Wila tilted her head, her big, curious eyes gleaming. "Above the waves?" she asked. "Who lives there?" Mara smiled, her barnacle-crusted tail swishing gently. "Creatures called humans. They walk on land, but their hearts beat like ours. Your songs can reach them, Wila, and remind them of the beauty they share with us." Wila's heart fluttered. She had never thought her songs could travel so far. That night, as the moon painted the ocean silver, Wila swam to the surface and sang. Her voice rose in waves, soft at first, then swelling into a melody that seemed to weave the stars and sea together. Far away, on a small boat bobbing on the water, a girl named Lila sat with her father, a fisherman. Lila's eyes were wide, her breath caught in her chest as Wila's song reached her. It was unlike anything she'd ever heard, not just sound, but a feeling, like a warm hug from the ocean itself. "Papa," she whispered, "what is that?" Her father, weathered by years at sea, closed his eyes and smiled. "That's a whale's song, Lila. It's the ocean's way of speaking to us." Lila felt her heart grow big, as if the sea had filled it with wonder. She leaned over the boat's edge, hoping to hear more, and in that moment, she felt connected to something vast and alive, something bigger than herself. Wila, unaware of the girl above, kept singing. Her song told of the coral reefs where fish danced in rainbows, of the deep trenches where ancient creatures guarded secrets, and of the waves that carried stories from one shore to another. The other whales in her pod joined in, their voices blending into a chorus that echoed across the ocean. Dolphins leaped in delight, and even the grumpy old sea turtle, who usually grumbled about everything, bobbed his head to the rhythm. But Wila's song did more than delight the sea creatures. It traveled farther, carried by the currents, until it reached other boats, other shores, and other hearts. People stopped their busy lives to listen, sailors, children, scientists, and dreamers. They felt a quiet peace, a sense of awe, as if the ocean was whispering its love to them, but not all was well in Wila's world. As the days passed, she began to notice changes in the ocean. The water felt heavier, clouded with strange smells and bits of plastic that floated like ghosts. The fish were fewer, and the coral reefs, once bright and alive, were turning pale and brittle. Wila's songs grew softer, tinged with worry. One day, as she swam near a busy harbor, she saw great nets dragging through the water, catching not just fish but her friends, dolphins, turtles, and even a young whale from a neighboring pod. Wila's heart sank. She dove deep and sang a song of sadness, and this time, the ocean itself seemed to weep with her. Lila, the girl from the boat, heard Wila's mournful song one evening as she walked along the shore with her father. Her heart ached, as if the ocean was crying out for help. "Papa," she said, tugging his sleeve, "the whale sounds sad. Something's wrong." Her father nodded, his face grave. "The ocean is hurting, Lila. We've taken too much from it, fish, coral, even the clean water. The whales feel it too." Lila's eyes filled with tears. She loved the ocean, loved the whale's song that had made her feel so alive. She couldn't bear the thought of it fading away. "We have to help," she said firmly. Her father looked at her, surprised by her determination. "What can we do, little one?" he asked. Lila thought for a moment, then said, "We can tell everyone about the whale's song. If they hear it, they'll love the ocean like I do. They'll want to save it." And so, Lila began her mission. She told her friends at school about the whale's song, describing how it made her feel like she was part of something bigger. She drew pictures of Wila, though she'd never seen her, imagining a whale with kind eyes and a voice like the wind. Her friends listened, wide-eyed, and soon they were telling their families. The story of the whale's song spread through the town, then beyond, carried by whispers and dreams. People began to gather at the shore, hoping to hear Wila's voice. Scientists came with microphones to record her songs, and musicians wrote melodies inspired by her notes. Even the fishermen, like Lila's father, started to rethink their ways, using smaller nets and cleaning up the plastic they found at sea. Meanwhile, Wila kept singing, unaware of the change she was sparking. Her songs were no longer just sad, they carried hope, too. She sang of the ocean's beauty, of the coral that could grow again if given a chance, of the fish that could return if the waters were clean. Her pod joined her, their voices weaving a tapestry of sound that traveled farther than ever before. One day, as Wila swam near the surface, she saw something new, boats, but not like the ones with nets. These were filled with people, children, adults, even elders, holding signs that said, "Save the whales," and "Protect our ocean." Wila didn't understand the words, but she felt the love in their voices as they cheered and clapped when her song reached them. Lila was there, standing on the shore with her father, holding a sign she'd painted herself. It showed a whale singing under a starry sky, with the words, "Listen to the ocean," written in bright blue. When Wila's song rose from the water, Lila felt that same warmth in her heart, but this time it was stronger, filled with hope. She knew the ocean was still hurting, but she also knew that people were starting to listen. They were cleaning the beaches, recycling plastic, and passing laws to protect the whales and their home. Lila whispered to the sea, "Thank you, whale. Your song is changing everything." Deep below, Wila felt a shift in the water, a lightness that hadn't been there before. The ocean was still fragile, but it was healing, little by little. Her songs grew brighter, fuller, carrying stories of a future where the coral bloomed again and the fish danced in schools so vast they blocked out the sun. The other whales noticed it too, and their songs joined hers, a chorus of joy that echoed across the seas. The dolphins leaped higher, the turtles swam faster, and even the crabs seemed to scuttle with more purpose. Years passed, and Wila grew into a strong, wise whale, much like her mother. Her songs never stopped, and neither did their magic. Lila grew up too, becoming a scientist who studied whales and their songs, teaching others about the ocean's fragile beauty. She never forgot the first time she heard Wila's song, how it made her feel connected to every living thing. She traveled the world, sharing recordings of whale songs and telling people about the young whale who had changed her life. And everywhere she went, people listened, not just with their ears, but with their hearts. They felt the tranquility, the awe, the reminder that the ocean was alive, and that they were part of it. Wila's songs became a bridge between the sea and the land, between whales and humans. They reminded everyone that life was interconnected, that the music of one creature could touch the soul of another, no matter how different they seemed. The ocean, once heavy with sorrow, began to hum with hope again. The coral reefs grew brighter, the fish returned in shimmering schools, and the whales swam in pods that stretched across the horizon. Wila, now a leader of her pod, sang a final song each night before resting, a melody that wove together the past, the present, and a future where the ocean thrived. And somewhere, on a shore far away, Lila would hear it and smile, knowing that the whale's song would never fade, as long as there were hearts to listen and hands to protect the sea. Do you still like today's story? If you like, please remember to subscribe to this channel and click the like icon. You can receive notifications and hear the latest stories as soon as possible. Good night, my baby.